So hey everybody, it's me, Eric Williams, the founder of Project Elijah Empowering Autism, also the host of the People Expressing Everyday Actions podcast, the podcast the mobile podcast, shall I say, where we don't do your traditional in studio, but we take the podcast to the people. So just real simple technology, iPhone, clip on mics, and we have an interview, right? I just find great individuals such as my friend Dr. Ben here. Center for Autism Research at Children's Hospital. It's a pleasure that we having this conversation, long overdue, but Ben isn't just held the title at CAR. He's actually my friend and colleague. So Ben, without further ado, how you doing?
Thank you, Eric. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Good. We got the Halloween
We
stuff
do.
in the
It's that time of
background to
year.
add a little, little umph to our podcast. So Ben, if you wouldn't mind telling the viewers a little bit about yourself and your role here at the Center for Autism Research.
Absolutely. So I'm trained as a psychologist, which means I'm a doctor that mostly involves with talking with people. I always like to tell people I work with, there's no needles, there's no shots, nothing like that. And my job is really focused partly on research, but partly on providing clinical care. And I really focus on teenagers and young adults who are sort of leaving high school and moving into adulthood. And I really see the goal of both my research and my clinical work as helping people get prepared and help them think about the goals that they want and then get there, because that's a really hard. Becoming an adult is hard. You and I have gone through this.
Yes.
It's hard, and when you have challenges, it gets even harder. And so we really, like the team that I work with, like our goal is really about helping people feel excited and knowing that there's ways to get supports and to get help and to think about what kinds of things should they ask for, because a lot of people don't know that they have the right to ask for help, ask for accommodations to make life easier, to make work easier. And so we really want to be a support for people.
Yeah, and how long have you been, how long has this center been open?
Yeah, so that work, which for the Center for Autism Research, we call the Passage Program, it started about 4 years ago.
Okay.
I've been here for about 15 years,
Okay.
and my life sort of took me there. I didn't start out in that area of concentration, or like that wasn't my focus when I first started, but it became my focus.
Yeah. So what was the reason that it became your focus that shift you from your first area to now?
Yeah. Initially, I was doing a lot of work trying to understand how like autism and ADHD come together. There are a lot of kids and young adults who have both of those conditions, and I was really focused on that. And one of the things that just kept coming up over and over again is that particularly for those people, adulthood was really hard because it's a time of your life where, your parents and the world start to say, well, you're 18, you're 19, it's time for you to take care of this by yourself. And so all those helps, and the school system, they once you turn 21, that's the latest you can be there. They take away all that help, and then it's up on you as the young adult. And there are a lot of young adults that feel very stressed about that, and particularly those that had those autism and ADHD diagnoses together. And I started to realize that was really important to focus on. And I was really lucky that both the director of the Center for Autism Research and the director of psychiatry both really got excited about me moving in this direction and really wanted to invest and make that a priority here. So that was exciting.
Yeah. So on what are some of your biggest challenges that you have as far as getting families to receive these services?
I mean, the biggest challenge is families just don't know. I mean, I on our team, we talk about like families usually come in saying like, I don't know what my kid's going to do, or the teen will say that, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to live. And then parents will always say, like, what else am I missing? Like, they just know, like, there's got to be stuff that I'm not thinking about. And so those are the challenges. Like, a lot of families, they come in, they don't even know that there are services that they can get from the government if you have a diagnosis of autism. There are services for just getting general help, like around the house, getting health care, getting transportation. Like that's a big thing for a lot of people, not being able to get from place A to place B. And SEPTA isn't everywhere for people to be able to get public transportation. So these are the questions that families come in that they are really worried about. And we have support for that. We have help for them. Sometimes it's even something as simple as a doctor to do adult care. Like their pediatrician saying, you're 21, you're 22, I can't keep you anymore. And so we really try to help families get connected that way too.
Yeah, and what are some of the ways that you reach out to families? Like I know
Yeah.
with Pia,
Yeah.
we're looking out partner because Pia
Yeah.
is in the community. What are
Absolutely.
ways that
Yeah.
try to get that word out?
Yeah, I mean, I think we do some things that are nice. We try to go to some of the autism fairs.
Mm-hmm.
We are, the hospital has a partnership with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So you can
Yeah, yeah.
you're supporting them right there.
We just beat the Giants yesterday, so and your Jets just won
I
too. So.
did, yeah, yes. Jets first time. This is we
First
might go
time.
1-16 this year. I hope not. I hope
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
But yeah, but in terms of this, we partner with the Eagles. So when they have events where we go to the community events sometimes, or a lot of times we have a lot of community events we
Mm-hmm.
go to that are sponsored by the state or a local. My colleague, your friend
Mm-hmm.
Jamil,
Shout out to
Owens,
Jamil.
absolutely. He sort of is our community liaison. So he
Mm-hmm.
does some really great conferences in the community with police, and then also like the Fathers Conference
Mm-hmm.
for fathers of autistic children. Those are great events where we try to connect with the community, and but I think we're always looking for new ways, because I think this is information that everybody should just be able to get, and
Mm-hmm.
it always hurts me that there are so many families that come in and they don't know, and we want to share it with as many people as possible. Like, just everybody should have this information. It is public,
Yeah,
but it's not easy.
yeah,
Like, I mean, to me, I think it's easier to put together a stereo than it is trying to figure out what services
yeah.
our government provides for people with unique abilities. Like, I think that is something that just surprises me. It's not easier to just get that information and to know what you can do.
Yeah, and I do like what you just said. You said unique abilities, so
Yes.
so shout out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that because we've at PIA, that's one of our challenges as well.
Yeah.
Is making sure that families know that what's out there for them.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Yeah.
that they'll go like I just did an interview Saturday, and they were like, well, what ways that what do you find? They asked me the question. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
And they was like, what are the challenges? And I was like, some people think because technically we're in a low to moderate income community or the hood,
Right.
and they don't think we have a quality program, and
Right.
they miss out on a lot.
Yeah. You have a
Not
great
even
program.
knowing that if someone was to come to a PIA, that's an easy referral
That's right.
for Carl.
That's right.
Someone come to Carl looking
Yeah.
for something, that's
Yeah.
an easy referral to PIA, and
Yep.
we worked hand in hand.
Absolutely. I mean, any family that's even remotely near the West Philly area, we
Mm-hmm.
are recommending, particularly when they're saying like they want activities and they want to
Mm-hmm.
do sports, or for the young adults, like when you do your DJ nights or
Mm-hmm.
your other events geared towards adults. PIA is a prime place that we want people to know about, because some of the ones that exist that we do tell people about, they're online, and for some people, online is good.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, it's not good. They want that, they want a person in front of them. And they want to connect with other people face to face. And so PIA
Yeah.
is a great resource. And
Yeah.
and we do,
Thank
yeah,
you.
we absolutely, yeah, no, we love partnering with you.
Yeah, and vice versa. And I think that COVID changed a lot of that.
Yes, it did.
As it shut down,
Yeah,
you had to use creative ways to keep it going virtually.
that's right.
And people become relaxed at just getting something basic.
Yeah,
But then, like you said, all of our, like a lot of our majority of our families,
Yeah.
they want that in-person feel
Yeah.
to kind of get back to some kind of normal way of life, how
Yeah.
it was before.
absolutely.
You,
And I also feel like there is something with families, like there's something about like the eye test
mm-hmm.
that like you can't, it's someone jokes to me that like the point of getting in person is how tall somebody
Yeah,
is.
right.
Because when you see them on the screen how tall they are. I think it's more than just that.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you get to be in the same room as a person, you get to like shake their hand and you get to see how they act towards you
Mm-hmm.
in person. I think it just feels bigger. You feel more connected.
Right.
You feel like this person understands you. And so, I mean, I think there is something special about that.
Mm-hmm.
And particularly when we're talking about doing community events, it's like, this is your community. This is our community,
You're right.
right? Like, we want to work together. And so I agree with you. I think there is something special now,
Mm-hmm.
after the pandemic, where so much is online or telehealth. I mean, that's important. And for some people, it's the only way they can do things. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to knock it.
Yeah.
But for people that want that face to face, I appreciate that. And I really want to give them those opportunities, because people miss that sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's so important in so many ways. I did an interview here last week or the week before,
Mhm.
and I had a client with me that he was out prior to COVID. Since COVID, he didn't, and now just
Mhm.
now a few months really getting out in here And as I was
Great.
doing the interview, he was with, and I was more so paying attention to him,
Mm-hmm.
but I could see his curiosity
Oh,
and
nice.
whether it's, what we on the fifth floor,
Yep.
the view out the window,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
the walk to the bathroom,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
interaction rather
Yeah.
than just staying in your house and doing that. And I
Yeah.
think that's a critical component that's been
Yeah.
lost in all of the different things that one needs: the socialization, the gross
Yeah.
motor, the cognitive, the
Yeah.
speech, the social,
Yeah.
you name it, and it's
Yeah.
just a bucket full of things that you can gain from in-person experiences.
100%. And I am a big believer that everybody has, like, I imagine, like a cup of
Mm-hmm.
like how much social interaction or being out we are. And there are some people that that cup is really big. And those are the people that when I was younger and like as my teens and 20s, those are the people where their weekend started on Wednesday and ended
Yeah.
like Monday Night Football. And then there are people that they have a smaller cup, and maybe like they need that going out and doing stuff. But for them, it might be like they go see a movie on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they need. And I think that's all good. But I think everybody has a cup that
Yeah.
needs to get filled. And if it doesn't get filled, I feel like people, they may not think that they're getting stressed or that things aren't going well, but I think a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, they are. And then their loved ones will
Yeah.
see that they're saying they're happy, but they don't really look happy. It doesn't feel happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's how. So our population, our families want so much
Yeah.
for just a little small
Yeah.
crumb,
That's
right?
right. That's
Size
right.
of a mustard seed,
Yeah,
like their faith.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
then once they get past that part of it,
Yeah.
I call it my own phrase, pre-parental anxiety. So
Yeah.
like coming
Yeah.
here, they gotta prepare. They may have to take public transportation, the
Yeah.
university city traffic,
Yep.
the hustle and bustle could be overstimulated.
Yeah.
So they look for all of these reasons
Yeah.
as to why not come and participate.
Yep. They don't know what the elevator is going to look like. They don't know
Mm-hmm.
there's a front desk, like that. Right. All these little things.
Mm-hmm.
They just right. It's like a vice grip, right? And like
Mm-hmm.
each little thing that comes up is like a little quarter turn on that vice grip, and you can just feel like people get stressed out
Yeah.
from that.
And then while the parents are doing that,
Hmm.
the individual love the experience. And we just got to know how to deal.
Yeah.
We just got
Yeah.
to know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like the podcast interview that I did,
Yeah.
my client, he must have stopped 5 or 6 times just to walk up and down the hallway.
Hmm. Yeah.
Or he's nonverbal, and just him make some sounds and
Hmm.
hear the reverb coming
Yeah. Yeah.
back
Yeah. Yeah.
fascinated him.
Yeah. He was excited. Yeah. That's
But
cool.
then I could see very well where a parent or guardian or care provider, they may be outside their comfort zone.
Right, right. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And to me, those are families that we want to work with and
Mm-hmm.
support to help them feel more comfortable because being out in the community is something that is good for everybody. Not just it is great for the person to be able to get out and be in the community and have those
Mm-hmm.
experiences. It's also great for the community to get more comfortable and to be more accepting and welcoming. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's actually one of the other things that's really important for us in our role as doctors and educators and hopefully influencing policy is to have environments just in general be welcoming for more
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yeah.
And I know you work a lot on that and you've done a
Yeah.
lot of work about trying to help, when they're setting up new programs, how can they think about how to welcome all families, people of
Mm-hmm.
all abilities? Because when it's not, when it's not welcoming to everybody, then not everybody's going to come. People are not going to feel welcome. They're not going to be
Yeah.
there. And that's something I think we can, for us, I feel like we continue to try to work with those partners. And
Mm-hmm.
we do have like some organizations we work with, particularly, that we will go and participate, like whether it's for work,
Mm-hmm.
so there's anyway, there's lots of different networks out there that are really trying to support people of unique abilities having jobs in all different types of locations, whether it's, doing manual labor or doing, what you consider white collar jobs,
Mm-hmm.
right? Jobs that are more technology based or not physical labor. And so that is something that I think we continue to need to make a push on
Yeah.
because I think there are a lot of people with unique abilities who could do great work, but then the work environment is still saying, well, they got to go through 6 hours of interviews. That may not be the right fit to really assess, can this person do a job that's 90% working from home,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
working on a computer,
Sure.
doing any number of jobs that are possible that way. And I think it's getting employers to see that difference
Yeah.
so that they can be more understanding of like, well, this is my job and these are the skills I need. And this person could have the skills, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe 6 hours of interviews with new people is going to be
Yeah.
really hard and stressful.
Yeah.
And that's not actually what you're asking them to do in the job,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so like
Yeah.
I think that's important too.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many ways that things that they have to consider
Yeah,
rather,
yeah,
and peel back the layers and look at what's most important,
right.
and then kind of shuffle the deck and just
Yeah, right.
kind of freestyle it in there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you
yeah,
got to get the
absolutely.
best of both worlds
That's
on
right.
all the chords.
Right.
So
Yeah.
so could you talk about some of the programs that CAR offers?
Yeah. So absolutely. So as a research center, first and foremost, we have a lot of projects where we want to partner with our community, and this is to some of the projects I would say it's a short-term investment. So some
Mm-hmm.
projects, we have new treatments or interventions, and they're behavior based, right? So like in our group, we have a treatment for people that know how to do their daily living skills, like know how to wash their hair, do the laundry, clean the house, but they just sort of struggle with consistency, with the
Mm-hmm.
motivation to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 3 different treatments that we're trying out to try to increase that motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for 16 to 25-year-olds. So that's the kind of thing a family could partner with
Mm-hmm.
us on,
Mm-hmm.
um, and sort of see if that's helpful. Other projects we do have a little bit of a longer term, where we're trying to improve how we can do a better job of diagnosis, or we want to come up with new ways of measuring an outcome change for a clinical trial.
Mm-hmm.
So like, can we measure how your language is, or if you're having a conversation about how well that's going, trying to come up with new ways using technology,
Mm-hmm.
like
Right.
an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Cameras,
Yeah.
and can we sort of see like how well people are doing in that interaction. Those are some other kinds of projects that people can partner with us on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the research side. On the advocacy side and sort of community side, we run these workshops. Some of them are for adults, some of them are for, we have for teens and school age kids and even toddlers,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, and obviously the younger we go, it's more geared towards parents
Mm-hmm.
and family and other caregivers. But as it gets older, we actually start to direct it more towards the person to help them think
Right.
about
Right.
adulthood. So those programs happen, and it's like, I want to say like every 6 to 8 weeks, like we've
Mm-hmm.
got one of those coming out. We call the workshops Next Steps
Mm-hmm.
workshops, and Jamil, we'll say his name again,
Yeah.
but he's a big piece of that, along with the rest of our outreach team, doing that for community. So those are ways that we love to partner with the community,
Mm-hmm.
and those Next Step workshops. What makes them special is it really is like for younger kids, it's like you might have gotten your diagnosis. What's your next step that you got to do? What do you have to do with
Mm-hmm.
the school? What do you
Mm-hmm.
want to do at home? And then as they get older, it's starting to think about what's your next step as you're thinking about adulthood, as you're thinking about high school and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a great place where families can get information about, and it's not just people at the Center for Autism Research, it's also people from the community who
Mm-hmm.
come in and run panels. Like we want other parents to come in and tell the parents that are attending, to sort of speak to what they learned,
Mm-hmm.
and what they've done and what they found to be successful and what they found to be hard. So it's really like a nice sharing. Like it's not just us as like experts on some sort of pedestal.
Right. Right. Right.
And then the last thing I'll just say is we also use that as an opportunity to learn from the people who are attending of
Mm-hmm.
is there anything that you're worried about that we didn't talk about? Because if we didn't, then we want to talk about it the next
Mm-hmm.
time. We want to go and learn
Yeah.
and do our homework so that we can help what people want when they come in.
Yeah, and that's good. And I think the workshop. So I'm actually on the
You
workshop.
are, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that's a good way. So one of the visions that I have, because I know Pia has a good reach,
Yes. Yeah.
over our 21-year existence. One of the things that I'm looking to start in Q1 is we do a series of neighborhood town halls,
Excellent.
and we're
That's
going to
great.
go into different pockets of Philly
Great.
doing these town halls, talking about Pia, talking about CAR,
That'd be great.
and having us
Love to
come
do that.
out there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
these programs, they're not missing it.
Yeah.
Because what
Yeah.
happens when my phone rings 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 o'clock in the morning, they're asking about services and resources that a CAR offers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to give like a soft handoff and
Mhm.
introduction
Yeah.
so they know that they're in good hands.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
coming from an inside referral, and
Yeah,
vice versa.
absolutely. Oh
So we
yeah,
want to make sure that we're maximizing
yeah,
those types of opportunities
yeah,
that some can see a you and I and
yeah.
Jamil,
Right.
we're
Well
working
connected. Yeah,
together, and it'll register.
yeah,
Because I get a
absolutely.
lot of, I think that when we had that last meeting here some months ago or last year,
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm referring them, but now you got to go. I
right.
can't hold you really by the hand.
That's
I
that's
can't
right.
be at every meeting
That's
every
right.
time.
Right.
But I think that if
Right.
we can show them that the three of us are here or whatever
Yeah.
the number would be,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I actually know you. So those that are see this podcast,
Yeah.
oh well, maybe he arranged a meeting and he just did this for views or likes
Right.
or this.
Right.
No, we're
No, no, no.
actually friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're friends and we work together. I
Yes.
mean, Eric is very humble, but he has helped our project, one that I'm working on a lot of understanding what happens as you leave high school.
Mm-hmm.
Where we want to understand for those daily living skills of being able to like take care of your hygiene and take care of your apartment and take care of money, everything that we did when we were getting started, we had ideas of the ways we wanted to write up things to tell people about the study. We wanted to write up things of like what the questions look like. And
Mm-hmm.
you read
Yeah.
all of them
Yes, I
and
did.
really helped us to understand of like what doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You could sit there and be like, I get that this might be something people use, but this doesn't actually make sense for
Yeah.
the community. And that was really important. We had to change what we did. And we learned so much from you and from other partners, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
along with you, we had autistic people and we had people who are anyway educational consultants just
Mm-hmm.
to because we know we're not perfect
Mm-hmm.
and we know the only way we're going to get better is by continuing to work with you and work with other partners who can tell us if we're missing something and then also tell us when we're on the right track.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that diverse body of individuals and
yeah,
organizations that you
yeah,
had the research, you had the professional, you had the education, and then you mix that in with individuals
yeah,
like myself
yeah,
who brought the lived experience.
100%. Yeah,
And that's what intrigued me about the whole project.
yeah,
Or if you was to say, hey,
yeah,
we got something tomorrow, can you look at it? And
yeah,
I'm reading over things
yeah,
an hour. So a lot of
yeah,
people just think that what they see what the result of,
hmm,
there's a lot of behind the scenes
a
work that
lot.
go into it. Could you talk about that
Yeah.
part of it?
Absolutely. I don't think people know this, but when we write a grant for the federal government, we probably spend from beginning to actually getting it funded. You could spend and people spend 3, 4, 6 months writing it,
Mm-hmm.
and then that whole review process. Once you put the grant in to do research, the federal government takes about 10 months. So by the time, like, and that's if you get it funded the very first time. Sometimes you have
Mm-hmm.
to go in a second time. So it could be 12, 13, 14 months from like when you start talking to people to when you actually hear what happens if it's going to
Mm-hmm.
get started. And then if it doesn't get started, well, then it's another 13, 14 months. So sometimes it can be 2 to 3 years between when you start having the idea and when you actually get to start doing it. And then the research itself, like, we're doing this project and this is something where we're talking with people 3 times over a 2-year period. So like if somebody came in on Halloween in 2025, yep, then we would follow with them on Halloween in 2026 and Halloween in 2027. So that's years of time that people would really be committing. I mean, it's one day, but it's one day every year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's really it takes us time, but the reason we do that, the reason we have those multiple visits is we want to know what's it like when you're in high school, what's it like when you're getting support from your school system, and then what happens when they're not giving you that support, how does that feel? And we know from talking with the community that their lived experience is it's stressful and it's hard,
Mm-hmm.
but we want to do this study to actually start to show the numbers, so then that way we know how we need to help people. Like, what are like this one, we're really focused on what skills could we
Mm-hmm.
maybe create a new treatment for, so that way people can get more of those daily living skills. They can be more independent or reach the level of independence that they want to have.
Yeah.
And that's really important. Like, that's the goal, because I think all of our work is really aimed at ultimately helping people with unique abilities get the quality of life that they want, the ones that
Mm-hmm.
their families want. I mean, most families, when I talk to them, what they want is they want their kids to be independent and they want their kids to be happy,
Yeah.
as much as they can. And that's a really great goal, and it's also something that we as scientists have to really be thinking about. That is, what do you want, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
as a father, as a young adult, like what do you want, and then try to help you get there. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And then you mentioned a potential duration of the grant
yeah,
RFP process.
yeah,
Meanwhile, while you're doing these things,
yeah.
you still have to do it on a daily.
That's right. That's right. We have to write it right. That's right. Yeah,
You
I
still got to provide
That's
services,
right.
right?
That's right. That's right. Right. Because we don't normally get time to write that grant. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why people will take 3, 4, 6 months, because you're squeezing it in. Because while you're writing for the new one, you're running the current research projects. And so usually, like the new idea I have, that when I get a new grant funded, I've been working on it, like I said, for 2 or 3 years. And
Mm-hmm.
it's mostly because from 9 to 5, I'm mentoring new researchers, new doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running the current research projects and the current treatment trials. And then, it's sort of like after work, like after I get my kids to bed at 10:30 at night, that's when I'm sitting down. And Eric knows he gets a lot of emails from me
Yeah.
around midnight or 1 a.m.
Yeah.
because that's when we get to sit, that's when we get to write and think about those things,
Yeah.
because you're right, we don't get that time during the day.
Yeah. And your passion and your energy, I always love that about you. Because you remind me of myself. Like we have
Yeah.
all of these things to do,
Yeah.
and then yet the little window that we have
Yeah.
at that 12 to 3 a.m. is when we communicate,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
and that part goes unnoticed, but I just want to let you know that your labor is not in vain, and
Oh, no,
everybody that your team here, not just super friendly, but they love what they do.
absolutely.
How important is that? Like this
Yeah.
isn't one of those fields to where you come in and you do 40 hours to get a check
Yeah. No, it's not.
and leave, because a lot of those you meet those families, there's a lot of sentimental value
Yeah.
attachment that goes with it,
Yeah.
and then to see one go through the program, whether it's age out that they're no longer here,
Yeah.
relocation, you still carry that in you. Do you
Yeah.
have those moments?
Absolutely. We do. We do. I mean, I would say most people here, um, coming to work in this field often comes from a personal, um, like a deep rooted feeling, whether that's a family member or just
Mm-hmm.
a deep desire to help others. There's so many people here go so far beyond the paycheck and the 40
Yeah.
hours, because they know, when they're working with families, and they're someone's stressed out, and then we have our conversation, we have our first opening meeting, seeing that parent, or that young adult, um, take a big breath,
Mm-hmm.
and that sigh of relief, and just say, like, I was so nervous, and I'm so glad, like, this went so much better than I thought.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times, like, when a teen says, like, this wasn't as bad as I thought it would be,
Mm-hmm.
that's like the
That's a
biggest
reward,
compliment.
right?
That's the biggest
Like
compliment.
ching ching.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this has been great.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think, you know I think about how, like, professional athletes will sometimes talk about, like, when you hear the people chanting your name when you make a play, that,
Mm-hmm.
like, there's a
Mm-hmm.
big rush to that. I think for us, when we are talking with a family, and they're asking questions, and we've been thinking about this, and we've been thinking about them, it's not we're not people in our work where people come in, they start talking, and then we start to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
We've been thinking
Mm-hmm.
about them. Like, we've been planning, like, okay, this is this family, these are the things we've heard them say, we know that they're going to care about, wanting this particular resource, or
Mm-hmm.
they're going to love working
Mm-hmm.
with this doctor that we'll make a referral to, or they're going to love to know that they can get access to this kind of help. um, and to see people's faces light up, that, like,
Mm-hmm.
what they think they need and that it's possible, um, is really rewarding for us, because
Yeah.
that's the part where you feel like you've given somebody something that they're going to walk out with, that they didn't think they had, or the help that they didn't know that was
Mm-hmm.
possible. And that's great. And of course, for me, the biggest fear is, I hope on the other side of it,
Yeah.
it helps them, right? That, like, they really feel like that, the service that I say, like, oh, hey, here's this Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. Their job is to help you get a job. That they actually live up to their role,
Yeah.
because I can't control that, but I know that that's who can help them. So yeah, it's a huge rush for us. Like, we just
Yeah.
get so excited about working with families, and and really, I think one of the things that I'm most proud of for the team that I work with, because they're amazing, and
I agree.
I'm standing right here, but Eric knows that there are like 5 people that I work with, and they are incredible in their own right, and they lift me up every day.
Yeah.
And what I love about them is their willingness to work with anybody. There are a lot of programs in the city and across the country where they'll say, well, we work with people with, on the autism spectrum, but just these people, just these people.
Yeah.
And in our program, particularly on adulthood, we have no limit, we have no cap, other than the age. But like, we really want to help. Like, it doesn't matter what your abilities are, it doesn't matter how much language you have. We want to help everybody in that program. And I'm just so proud of that because it allows everybody to feel welcome coming in.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a testament to your leadership and it feel like you're working with family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not just title wise,
Yeah.
top up looking down.
Yeah.
And that's I felt that since the first day I came here.
Yeah.
And then still you guys support PIA,
always,
which is why PIA supports CAR.
Yeah.
So another question, is there a heavily populated section of the city that you guys have more of your clients? I know it's all spread out throughout. Is there one or two that where your numbers are extremely high?
That's a good question. I actually don't think I know the answer to that off the top of my head.
Might be a project.
Yeah, that's a good project to think about. Yeah. Right. Like who do we serve the most? I mean, I think in terms of our clinic, we're Philly. I mean, we serve a lot of Philadelphia County. I mean, we get people from other counties for sure, but I would say like our largest users are Philadelphia County.
Yeah, and I specifically designed that question. This is all freestyle, so we just and I want to, because some of the questions that I get, they think that because you guys are located in University City, that you only take the proximity of what's here.
No.
And then if you is to see a chop center out in King of Prussia somewhere, that they serve those. But I specifically want to ask because you take the whole.
We do. We take the whole state. I mean, quite honestly, we take people from New Jersey. We take people from Delaware. We take people from Western Pennsylvania. I mean, I see people who have come down from Scranton.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely like, no, we don't have any. We don't put any limits on where you come from to see us. So yeah, absolutely. Like we will happily see people from, anywhere in the state is not a problem for us.
Yeah. And again, I mentioned we have a friendship.
Yes.
Right. Just talking.
Yeah.
And one of the things it warmed my heart when you and your colleagues, y'all came to our gala.
Yeah.
Well, you wasn't able because of schedule.
Yeah.
But you did lend your support,
absolutely.
And your colleague came.
Yes. Absolutely.
And that says volumes.
Yeah.
About what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because you're part of the boots on the ground.
That's right. We want to be part
team.
of that. Yeah.
Right. So we are planning, which we'll talk offline.
Yeah.
Can't give away the details because it's
Not
still
yet.
under contract.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it. And that's one of the things that we push papers, we're in meetings, we're pushing emails, we're writing grants from one side.
Yeah.
But the other side, you came to our golf clinic.
Absolutely.
The other side is where really our passion and says who you are or who we are as an organization, you guys come to our events.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're a golfer.
Yeah, I am. What can I say? I love golf and I'm playing it and I love supporting it. And it was a lot of fun to be able to come out that day. And I want to come out to your basketball clinic. I want to see how that goes. Yeah. And next time you run a DJ night, I do want to be able to see that, because I think it's so great to see you working with families directly and giving people an experience that, a lot of times they don't feel like they can get. They don't feel like they can go to the golf course because, my kid might make a sound or might do something that's unexpected. And then people are going to, look a certain way at me or at my child. And I love that you just sort of like, all people, whatever they want to come to do, if they just want to sit outside, if they just want to smell the flowers, that's great. If they want to pick up a club, that's great. If they want to play basketball, I just think that's great. And I think we need more. I mean, I think PIA serves such an important service to the families of Philadelphia. And I really love what you're doing and I always want to be supportive. So
I appreciate that. Now, and my philosophy and vision has always been, while the individuals are participating in the activity, then we bring a car in, and then we start talking about these much needed programs
Yeah.
that I know they need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jamil knows it firsthand,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but yet they're still lacking that confidence to say, my loved one needs this and we're going to get this.
Yeah.
So that town hall would be another way.
I love that.
The programs to know that we're all one,
Yeah.
I think is
Absolutely.
going to set the standard
Yeah.
for what it is that they need and how to go about it. And I
Absolutely.
like the fact that when you said that, individuals say it's not as bad as I thought, because we want the parents to get that same way, because that's
Yeah.
the holdup
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
majority of the
Yeah.
time.
And honestly, it's like it's on us to build trust.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think historically there are times where medical professionals have not built trust with
Mm-hmm.
with all communities, and that's a problem, and we need to keep showing, like, for our work and for who, like, I am as a person and my team, like, we want to build that trust, and we want to do that person by person, so that way
Yes.
each person can feel comfortable that when they're talking with me or they hear about me from you, that they know that there's a person that is, really trying to be dedicated to their family and to what they want, not not trying to dictate what they should
Mm-hmm.
do, but saying, what do you need? How can I be helpful to you? And that's really the approach we want to take into this.
Yeah. So as we wrap this up, could you explain what the intake process would be if a family
Yeah.
was to say
Yeah.
saw this interview
Yeah.
or see us?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah. The easiest thing to do to get in touch with us is we have an email for our passage program, the transition program. It's just passage program at chop.edu. And that would be the easiest thing to do. You can also just search passage and chop on the internet and you'll find our website and you can find our information there. But that's the easiest way, I would
Okay.
say. And then we will follow up from there to just sort of help you get connected with us and to talk with people, whether you want to be a partner with us in a research study or whether you just want to see us, in clinic. And truthfully, like, we help people, like, wherever you're at, that's where we want to
Mm-hmm.
meet you. If you want to come in and you want to see us in clinic and get help with the clinical services, but you don't feel comfortable being a partner in a research study, that is okay. We help everybody, and so that's what I think is a really important piece. I want people to know, we don't have any tit for tat
Mm-hmm.
of, like, come be in our research study, then we'll give you clinical. No,
Mm-hmm.
those things are separate. We recognize that what's most important is we provide our clinical care for the families that need it. And then if what we're doing in the research makes sense, if it's something that you're interested in, and you want to help us out, that's fantastic. And we'll talk all day
Mm-hmm.
about that with you if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
want to. But really, that's that I just think it's really important to say that, because I think sometimes families, that may also be part of the worry
Mm-hmm.
of, like they're being, sort of forced into it, which is not at all. We really, anyway. So people can definitely be in touch with us about, through the website and through the email of passageprogram@chop.edu.
Okay. And could you give your name again, just for the record?
Sure.
We did it. I did it.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we just kind of jumped in because
You
it's
got
been a
it.
minute since we've seen each other,
That's
just
true.
so others know.
Sure. My name is Ben Yerys. That's spelled Yerys.
This real, y'all. Got clients calling.
It is. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah. But Yerys, like I said, spelled Yerys. But it rhymes with Ferris, like in Ferris wheel.
Yeah. So thank you. And before, as we wrap up, one last nugget that you will want to share, if anybody was to see this, and what should they take away from this? What would you want them to take away from this, shall I say?
Yeah, I think the one thing I would want people to take away from this is that we see our goal as helping people with unique abilities and their families identify their goals and work towards them. We are supporting you going on the journey that you want to take.
Mm-hmm.
That I think would be the biggest takeaway. That's what our research is focused on, and that's what our clinical work is focused on.
Yeah, and I think you can tell. So those that know me, they know I've referenced unique abilities all the time.
Yeah.
And you must have said it at least 5 times just flowing. So that
Yeah.
goes to show the time that we spent
Yeah.
behind the scenes,
Absolutely.
building relationships,
Yeah.
building a friendship, building all these other things.
Yeah.
But I just want to thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
My
Love it.
friend, when the
Yeah.
weather gets nice, maybe I could get out on the golf course
Yeah.
with you. I know you're recording now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So tell the people about that. That's one thing.
For the record.
For you, you recording what, your golf swing
Oh
now?
yeah. No, yeah. I mean, like I take a camera out and I record my golf swing, and then I like to see where I can make it better. Life is about continual
Yeah,
improvement.
yeah. All right. So let's continue to make this improvement, keep the
Yeah,
train on the tracks as we go. And I
you got
thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you.
So there you have it, folks. Eric Williams, again, founder of Project Elijah Empowering Autism. I'm also the host of the People Expressing Everyday Actions, which is the mobile podcast where we don't do your traditional in studio. We take the podcast to the people and we highlight amazing individuals such as yourself, who are doing great work in the community, not just on the unique ability side, but you're just a great person.
Thank you. I
So I
appreciate that.
think I
Me too.
do believe that individuals look at role models as your LeBron James, your Kevin Hart's, and
Yeah.
so forth, which
Yeah.
they are. But
Absolutely.
they're everyday individuals like yourself who one may walk by and not even know the impact that you have
Yeah.
in the work that you're doing. So
Nice.
thank you. And there you have it. Appreciate your time, and hopefully you enjoy this interview or
Mhm.
conversation, shall I
Yeah.
say, because we
Yeah.
are buds.
Yeah.
And feel free to share the word. Thank you.